Democrats come to Tom Barrett's home in Milwaukee as a show of unity, while the governor's in the Madison area delivering a manufacturing message.
The campaign to the recall election is underway. Good evening, I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Susan Simon, filling in tonight for Sarah Carlson. The candidates begin their work in earnest. Democrats with a show of unity, and the governor touting his record. Political reporter Jessica Arp has been across the state today, and she has more on the differences that are already being drawn, Jess.
Well, Democrats are presenting a united front just hours after finishing a primary race, while Governor Scott Walker is defending his job and calling out the consequences he sees if Barrett is elected.
I'm going to do everything I can to make sure we get a new governor to get Wisconsin back on track.
Now is the time. Today is the hour. It's time to move forward.
We are united as a team here.
In a show of front yard unity, Democrats joined behind Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett at his home to begin a rematch of the 2010 election.
2010 is not 2012, and I think the major difference is people now have an understanding of Scott Walker's divide and conquer approach to government, that he wants to divide people.
But sparks are already starting to fly in the race as the governor is accusing the mayor, who's touting an end to the Civil War, of continuing it.
I'm the only candidate in this race that can take Wisconsin forward without having that same battle all over again, and I think most people, regardless of party, want to get beyond that.
The governor instead focused on manufacturing at Endres and Wanakee, saying a targeted tax credit and other measures are encouraging growth in the industry.
What Tom Barrett has said throughout the primary, if you believe what he said to voters in the primary, he said he thought that the tax breaks that were given tied in the jobs this last session were not good. I would beg to differ. I would say that manufacturers and agricultural-based interests in the state are the two biggest industries Wisconsin has, and that unless Tom Barrett's changing what he's saying now in the general election as opposed to what he said in the primaries, he effectively would be raising taxes on manufacturers. As
Barrett begins his campaign with Democrats behind him, he argues any tax incentives should be tied to job creation.
What we have seen from his administration is we have seen give-outs. We have seen him pick winners and losers. That is not the way that we should be operating. We should be operating in a way that creates jobs.
The governor says the only way manufacturers would use his credit is if they were creating jobs. Barrett says more accountability is needed. We're sure to hear more about these plans as the 4-week campaign continues.
Let the games begin, and we are off. Jess, thanks.
Thank you, Jess.